Okay, we're going to try this one last time. And hopefully this is the third of three to catch myself up on the first 20 weeks of life after gastric bypass surgery. I think partially because of the setbacks I had at the hospital, I chose to reintroduce foods. When they said, you know, you can introduce this at 2 weeks, I waited till 3 weeks. This at 4 weeks, I waited till 5 weeks. I believe that I needed to be cautious, and because of the nausea too, I was worried that, you know, my biggest dreaded thing was throwing up, which I did plenty of times because I ate too fast. I ate too much. I wasn't, you know, it's like, it's all numb down there. I mean, it isn't numb, but I wasn't feeling the food like I do now. It took a while, and everyone warned me about my body will play head games with you. And I don't really feel like my body's been playing head games with me. I think it's just a little process at this point of getting through this and realizing what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat and in what quantities. I have had one instance of what I consider, you know, like a sugar rush or something, just recently, where I got chills and I got hot and cold and chills, and I had to be somewhere in the morning, and I was going to be active, I was going to be walking, and so I had gotten up my normal 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, and had eaten, I don't even remember what I ate, but something that was carbs, and then I waited a couple hours and I had something else, which I think I had fruit after that, and I didn't have protein, and that was a big mistake. I think they both turned into sugar, and that made me kind of icky, and I knew from watching videos that this could mean, you know, 24 hours, 6-8 hours, maybe 24 hours of being ill. Fortunately, so I called and stalled my walkthrough, and at my client's site, and actually I ended up being on time because it passed very quickly, but that was my first lesson. I've been very scared about having a dumping syndrome or the results of that, throwing up and getting sick, or just being, you know, like really sick. So I've been very, 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 very cautious about both fats and sugars. I do some estimating, but largely I read every single package and every single thing that I ever eat. I weigh, I measure, I do whatever I can do. I try to be conservative. I'm not successful all the time because obviously since I have regurgitated in the 20s of times at this point, I'm doing better. I don't think I have regurgitated now for about 3 weeks at all, but I was doing it once a day for a while, and it was real interesting because it's really not, for those that are pre-op and are thinking, oh, I don't want to throw up, it's not like when you have the flu and you throw up everything. At least it hasn't been for me. It's like the overfill is what you regurgitate, and it just kind of comes up, and once it's up and out, it's gone. So and then the feeling is immediate. At least that's the way it's been for me. So, you know, it kind of makes me think, I wonder if people that are anorexic and bulimic, if that's what it feels like to them, or if it's that horrible feeling you get when you are sick and throw up and every bone in your body aches. It has not been that way for me. It's still not something I want to do. For one thing, it annoys me. It annoyed me initially, you know, initially it annoyed me because you think you go to all this trouble to get this protein down, and all of a sudden you're regurgitating it. And I think I'd written one of the guys, do you count the proteins if you keep it down for longer than a half an hour? And I guess you can't. It depends on how much you're throwing up. I don't have an issue with chewing my food. As a matter of fact, every time I've seen it come up, I'm pleased to see that the pieces are all very small, and it's just that I'm eating too quickly. So that's something I have to solve, and I have got a better handle on it. I'm definitely putting down my utensils. Boy, I fidget a lot. I can't believe how much I fidget. I wonder if I do that all the time. See, I'm fidgeting again. That, and then you can see my chicken neck right here. I had chicken neck before. I've got chicken neck worse now. I guess it's just skin. Maybe I can get a neck lift. Anyway, that's my food issues. I have not really had any beef or anything like that. I've had ground beef. I've had pretty much everything. One thing they said you're not supposed to have is raisins and grapes. I've had both those. I'm a big nut eater. I had the first thing I craved was apples, and you couldn't have that until like 10 weeks. And so I mentioned that to my doctor, and he said, oh, you can have apples, just peel them. So I went on a kick of having, apples. I think every day for a week or 2 weeks, I went to McDonald's and got the little pack of little apples, and they have nuts in it, apples and yogurt, and the yogurt, of course, is all sugar, and so actually, all three of them are really a lot of sugar. But I would eat the apples, take the skin off the apple, eat the apples, and put the yogurt on it, and then the next day I would eat the nuts. And boy, that was great. I was just really craving that, so that helped a lot, knowing I could have that. So I am eating. I'm very careful about eating proteins first, and proteins first, and then salad. I have a lot of salads with chicken. I eat chicken every single day, and almost without fail. I mean, I don't think there's been 2 days in a row that I haven't had chicken. I'm drinking as much water as I can get in, and I'm just starting back now with protein shakes because the thought of a protein shake was just more than I could stand after surgery, and it wasn't up until I would say 15 weeks or so where I couldn't even stomach it. So now gradually I am drinking them. I went to the store and they gave me samples of, right there they have like a bar, and they gave me samples of tastes, and so I bought 2 or 3 containers, and so now I'm able to do that. But other than that, I'm feeling great. After 8 weeks, it's been wonderful. The weight coming off has been very odd. As far as I've lost a lot of weight from here down, and below my waist it's still very heavy, but I've still got a lot of weight to lose. I may have lost 91 pounds, but I've got 150 or more to lose still. So I've got a long journey, but I'm willing to make that journey, and I've never regretted it for a minute that I've done it. I've been tough, I've been miserable, I've been cranky, but boy, I have no regrets at all. I think that's it. I think 3 of 3 is going to do it, and hopefully this one isn't too long either. Thank you for watching, and I'll try and do another one before the next 20 weeks.